Out of nowhere, a nuclear bomb just arrived and just came in the face of Tobey Maguire, and it's literally screaming at me that Vegeta is better than Goku. And Maguire bully is back. It's
The
gone.
Juwaan from Geek Vibes Nation is here, and I love how he disposed of Jayla's Bully Maguire image as soon as we pulled him up and called it out for her. How you doing, man?
Good. Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome, Juwaan. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the big show. I heard you're excited to talk about Bleach, man. I'm really happy you're able to join us today.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love Bleach, so that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, ever since we started the live streams to do the big show, we thought that it wasn't enough to just cover the routine anime and the usual conversation. The goal is to have conversations with the audience and talk about topics that are interesting and that will get people engaged into talking about how much they love anime, but also, which is actually part of the initial thesis of the show. Isaac, if you remember, we actually had it written as the description is that our goal was to introduce anime to people that have never seen it before, but also talk anime with those that have loved it forever. So today's topic is going to be about anime for beginners. So each of us have picked from our library of memory some of the animes that mean the most to us, but also animes that actually work very well as introductory paths for people that have either never ventured into anime or that have never really taken that art style of medium seriously. And we try to keep that list as what's the word I'm looking for? As diverse as possible. Because the beauty about anime, and I've always said it, is that there's so much out there. There is no way that you cannot find one that will make you happy. There's plenty that will make you mad, but you're definitely going to find one that will make you happy. So everybody ready? Everybody got their topics? Everybody got their list? So we can start this thing?
I've got a list of about 7. I know I can only share 2, but I wanted to make sure I was covered everywhere.
Yes, yes. So for the spirit of conversation, and also for the audience at home that is listening to us and joining into the conversation, I figure let's try and keep it, since everybody has multiple options. The goal is to talk about the ones that are different. So let's try and keep it with different genres, so people can have a very nice and varied list they can take home. And guys, if you're listening to this topic and you're writing this list down, you got homework. Damn it! No, okay. But of course, let's start. Juwaan, you're the guest. I don't know your anime loving background, but tell us a little bit about anime, what anime means to you, and if I was someone down the street that has never seen it, what would be the one show that you would recommend for us to start with?
I've always loved anime. To me, I think what kind of drew me to anime was how different it was from things like Batman the animated series and X-Men the animated series and stuff like that. I think Dragon Ball Z probably is what got a lot of us into anime.
Yeah.
But for me, what I would suggest, if I'm trying to get someone into anime, is an anime that I usually never hear anyone talk about. And I swear, I think I'm the only one that actually enjoyed it. And that'd be Akame Got Killed. I
Nice.
really thought
Nice.
that show covered so many foundations of the emotion, the action. It had absolutely no filler because it was only one season. And it kind of got right to it. And there were so many twists and turns in that story. I personally love it, and that would be one that I would suggest for people to get into, because I think, it doesn't feed into the idea of typical animes that might have a lot of filler and hard to kind of get into. It gets right into the action, and I believe it does have a good story too. Do I do my second one now?
I figure we go around. Everybody gives one.
Okay.
So everybody has a little bit of a chance. But I'm glad that's a great option. That's a great selection. We actually covered a Akame Got Killed on the channel, so we'll make sure to put the link in the description so you guys can listen to our review of it. Now, Akame Got Killed is a good show. I think that's a good option. It's short. I think it's like what, maybe 24, 26 episodes, maybe,
Yeah, about
right?
that, yeah.
And it ends with a very particular twist. The show actually plays with your emotions in the way it's going. So it's a well written story, and it's funny because it's one of those shows that is typical anime fare in the sense that it's super idiot funny when it wants to be, but it's super serious and deep when it wants to be.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, so that's a good one. That's a good one. Do you remember
Yeah.
when we covered A Kami Got Kill, Isaac?
It was a while. I remember that Leo from Geekly Goods doesn't like it at all, since it's an anime original ending. I remember.
Is it? Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting.
It is.
Interesting. Very interesting. So, Mike, have you ever heard of that show or no?
Heard of it, haven't seen it. So definitely one for me to check out. Once we hit backlog season, come winter.
Says the man that has an ever-growing list of problems.
I still need to get through Full Metal Alchemist, man. Look,
Death Parade, Violet Evergarden.
I understand, Isaac. I understand.
So, Mike, since now the true reason for this topic came out, it's a way of making you watch stuff. But
It
Mike,
really is. It's also a way to get a comprehensive guide to all the normies out there who may not know where to start.
normies welcome. So, Mike, what's your first anime that you would recommend as someone that ventured into this world recently for the first time?
Yeah, so I got to cheat because I have Anime 0 and Anime 1 on my list, right? And you guys already know Anime 0 would be Avatar The Last Airbender because
Fair.
it's so anime inspired, but it's also still Western at heart, to where I feel like it's the easiest gateway into the genre, into the art style, into the animation, and the way that the stories are structured. I feel like Avatar: The Last Airbender is a perfect starting point. That said, I also hear the people yelling at me saying it's not an anime, which is why it's Anime 0 on the list, not the number one choice on the list. I hear you, Ren.
And you needed to make a Avatar: The Last Airbender. What's the word I'm looking for? When you drop it, you have to make it drop.
I had to do it. I mean, I'm literally a Water Tribe member right now in my avatar here. But another one, I feel like, I think one of the biggest challenges, like Juwaan was saying, right, is that a lot of, especially when people think of anime, they usually think of old school anime, right? The Dragon Balls, the One Piece, the Bleach, the Naruto's, things that are
fiction.
Like 500 to 1,000 episodes, right? And like that is daunting and scary, and they drag on a bit. And so I want to, if I'm to recommend something to somebody, I want to give them something short, sweet, and concise. An easy answer is Cowboy Bebop, right? Because that is a brisk 24 episode series. It's also very episodic in nature, where you can just watch an episode and get all you need from a singular episode of Bebop. But if you stick with it, you get this incredible adult narrative in the life of Spike Spiegel, Faye Valentine, Jet Black, right? And I think that's what makes Cowboy Bebop such a strong opening anime for viewers and audiences, because it's short, it's impactful, but again, it's not too lore heavy. You don't have to try and figure out what a Sharingan, a Mangekyo Sharingan is in Naruto to understand the lore of Cowboy Bebop. It's, we are space bounty hunters. The end. Get into it and just go.
Let's jam. Literally, the intro says 1, 2, 3. Let's jam. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. That is it. Also, I can never say no to Cowboy Bebop, and I'm glad that you. It's funny that both of the shows that you mentioned are literally Western inspired, one way, shape, or form. Because definitely Avatar: The Last Airbender, no matter what anybody says, Ren, I don't know you that well, but you cannot deny that the roots and the inspirations of anime are there. Even though you can tell that the roots of the animation is American, but the style, the action, the portrayal, the cinematography, it's all anime inspired, right? Now, when it comes to Cowboy Bebop, I love it because it is an anime-only show. Let's start with that. And secondly, Shinichiro Watanabe's inspiration also comes from what he loves about cinematic films in the West, because it's literally Western sci-fi. That's what it is.
Yeah,
and
it's very Blade Runner-esque when you get to the roots of it.
Yes, and it's just done so well done. The music makes it what it is, and it's just beautiful. Did I say beautiful? I'm gonna say it again. It's beautiful. Damn it.
You're gonna carry that weight once you're done with Bebop.
Yep. Yes, you are. See you around, Space Cowboy. Now, my turn, and then we go to Isaac for the first one. I'm gonna say this because I want to keep it also variety, right? I'm gonna start with one of my favorite animes ever, and that's Psycho Pass. And the reason I would recommend that, mainly because I'm a big nerd for sci-fi, and I love police procedurals. And Psycho Pass scratches those two ideas, those two themes, those two topics. And the best thing about it is that because it's built like a procedural, every episode is a different adventure. Yes, is there an overarching story? Yes, there is. But you can watch one episode of Psycho Pass, and just get lost in the world and the complexity of Sybil, the loss of free will, society, government, and all that stuff. There's a bunch of politics and stuff like that involved. That it's one of those great hardcore shows that it can show you. It actually shows you how much anime can do in a mature fashion, because there's no way where you can't imagine that this could have been a live action movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of anime that has that potential of providing that kind of escape that you would think it's limited to, because even in Western animation, right, here in the States, it's very rare that you see an adult animated show that, number one, its priorities is not comedy, and number two, it's trying to emulate high-end sci-fi, like most sci-fi films like Blade Runner or Arrival or stuff like that are trying to do, right? Psycho Pass is really taking that into consideration and presenting that. And the reason it's great for a beginner is because there's like 3 seasons of it, but each season is like, each season you can divide it in like 12 to 13 episode chunks. The procedural element makes it so you can watch one episode and dig it, and then watch another episode, and it's a new adventure, but in the same world. So it has that kind of anthology feel. So you can pick it up, leave it, go back to watch something else, and come back and watch it, and you're still enjoying the characters, because the characters are very great and constructed as well. So that's my first recommendation, Psycho Pass.
Psycho Pass is great. That's one of the shows you guys actually recommended for me to check out, and it is a blast.
Yeah, I had fun with Psycho Pass.
Yep. Isaac, what's your first recommendation?
Well, I'm gonna sort of do a Michael and sort of have Anime Zero first and foremost, but it is anime per se, and that is the entire library of Studio Ghibli. Yes, I know it's a kind of cheating, but it's an easy way to start.
You see, that is major cheating, because my Anime Zero wasn't an anime, but two, you just said 20 films. Start with 20 movies.
But in all seriousness,
you should go back to Mad Dog Isaac. It's like, I will never ask you for recommendations. I feel that I'm leaving with the library.
It's
essentially.
I mean, I'm always Mad Dog, even when I'm not calling me that. But let's put obvious out of the window, shall we? And then it shall be interesting to see if you guys can figure out my next one. And the first and foremost is, well, Mike, can you guess?
Violet Evergarden?
Yeah, exactly.
Can't blame you.
Yeah, it's an emotional and well-written tale about how it is to be human. It's 12. Is it 12 episodes plus 2 movies? If I'm.
I think the first season is like 20.
No.
It's 12 episodes.
Violet Evergarden isn't 20 episodes.
Okay.
They are shorter.
Okay.
I think it's around 13 or so. So yeah.
Including that, is that including the specials?
I think it's now I have a brain freeze. I'm sorry for or that.
No, but I agree with you. That's a great selection. It's a nice period
13
piece.
episode and 2 specials.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice epic period piece in a
3 specials, but
yeah, and it's yeah.
But it's more of a personal story that you can watch in chunks. You can watch an episode. It's not. It's a show that you doesn't really need to watch. You can use it as a weekly show, a la what Disney Plus is doing. It's short. It's doesn't have any overarching plot more than Violet's journey of trying to restart her life, kind of deal.
Yeah, and it has a lot of very particular slice of life elements that make that genre of slice of life so cute and funny, right? And they're very unique characters, so that's a good pick. I mean, I think I feel ashamed that I didn't think that you were gonna say Violet Evergarden.
I mean,
but it was gonna happen.
What gonna say, Mike?
I was just gonna say, like, it felt very obvious, especially when he said, "Well, guess." It's like, yeah, what is the one thing he won't shut up about?
True.
Exactly.
True.
I was gonna say One Piece, but that was too obvious.
That's too mean.
That's okay. Peak fiction is meant to be enjoyed. It's not meant to avalanche and murder the audience. Okay. Now, I do like Arkwinder's recommendations.
Yes.
Death Note and One Punch Man. That's great. And I love One Punch Man because what a great satire of superhero, of the superhero world and genre, right? It's kind of it's funny because I just thought about Peacemaker because it has that same kind of spirit. But of course, One Punch Man did it first.
Do you really want to taste it?
Wigwam. And then you have Death Note, which is great. I think Death Note is what, like 52 episodes, maybe 30 or something. I don't remember. But you're right, it's not that long. And if you like police procedurals like I do, what a great cat and mouse, but also what a great psychological show Death Note is. The study of the meaning of justice and the different versions and angles that you can explore that topic. It's one of those brainy animes that you just can't stop watching. Thank you. 37 episodes. Thank you. Juwaan, we're back with you. You get one more. You can recommend one more. What would you say, man?
All right, I'm going to go with a weird one, another one that I think maybe not a lot of people have ever heard of, but that's because I like weird anime. Let me see, make sure I'm saying it right. Yeah, okay, I was. Black Lagoon.
Yes.
Black Lagoon.
Yes.
It is probably millions, but one of the more straightforward stories you can possibly get in anime. It's literally just about pirates / mercenaries. Like it's very straightforward. Say it again.
Yeah. No, in modern day. Modern day.
Right. And Revy, it was a massive favorite of mine. I mean, massive favorite of mine. There was nothing she could do that I would ever think was wrong. But yeah, no, it handles the action very well. It starts to get a little weird towards the end. I think it deserved another season. But yeah, Black Lagoon, it's pretty straightforward. You know, if you're coming into anime looking for just action in a story that doesn't kind of go all over the place, this is it. And like I said, this is more so of a very straight line. You know, you don't have to worry about millions of episodes, plot that kind of changes at some point. It's just mercenaries trying to get money, essentially. Yep. So I mean, Black Lagoon definitely would be my second one.
I'm glad that you brought Black Lagoon because, first of all, what a phenomenal show, because it's just phenomenal.
Yep.
And it also has one of the most complex female leads in anime.
Yep.
Because Revy, it's very fascinating, and it's funny because you don't start to really dig into her backstory until you're like pretty far into it. But then when you find out her backstory, how crazy and tragic it is, you just enjoy the show even more.
Yep.
So
Absolutely right.
Well done. We also covered Black Lagoon, which is funny that you mentioned it. So we'll make sure to put the link in the description for those shows that that we have covered that he has mentioned because it's great.
We swear, guys, this podcast was not an excuse to plug old episodes.
It was not.
I mean, we just posted our legacy episode of Black Lagoon a couple of weeks ago. Just saying.
Smooth, Isaac. Very smooth.
Always.
And look, we're doing the right things because Argwinder now is excited to watch Black Lagoon. Do it.
Oh, please do.
Do it.
Please do.
Do it. Mike, we're back to you.
Yeah.
Second and last. Talk to us.
Ooh, that's tough because I have a list that can keep going all night. But this is, I think, an easy call, right? It's something that we do every other week. It's Spy Family.
Yes.
Spy Family is such an easy watch and it's such a great premise. Anybody can get into it, right? We have our main character, well, one of our main characters in Lloyd Forger, and he has to go on a mission to basically save the world from impending doom.
Yeah.
But to do so, he has to get a daughter, enroll her in school so he can get close to the enemy, and he has to create a fake family. The daughter is a telepath. The woman he ends up with is an assassin, and hilarity ensues from the chaos. And it is just so funny. It's action-packed too. The action's great. The characters are great. But again, it teeters that line, right? It's one of the reasons I always recommend My Hero Academia, because My Hero teeters the line between battle shonen and slice of life, and Spy Family is kind of the same way, where some days it skews more one way or the other, which makes it accessible to somebody, to basically anybody, right? Because it teeters the line and blurs the line of what the genre of the show actually is, but you're always guaranteed to have a good time. You're going to laugh, you're going to enjoy just the craziness, the crazy world and lives of these characters, and Lloyd, Anya, and Yor, and it's just a blast all around. It's a new anime too, so there's only currently 14 episodes. So I definitely think Spy Family is something anybody can get into.
I'm glad that you mentioned Spy Family because not only is it very accessible to everybody, that's one. Two, they're getting into something that's happening right now. So they can kind of get a taste of the actual present anime landscape as opposed to just getting lost in everything that happened 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So they can feel, because there's a thing about going back to old shows. You kind of feel like you're not with everybody else, so you get that kind of lonesome feel. I mean, some people can feel like that, but the fact that you can watch something that's going on right now, that you can enjoy the conversation of people presently talking about it, that's a great idea for Spy Family. Now, the other thing I love about Spy Family is that Spy Family has one of those qualities that the best anime have, is that they create these absurd situations that we only enjoy because the characters are so well designed that we accept the absurd situations. You know what I mean? Like in other situations, in other contexts, even in other mediums, the absurd situations wouldn't humor us. But because of the animation, because of the presentation and the delivery, it's perfect. So, yeah. It's crazy. I know.
It's so good, guys. If you guys can catch up, we're doing Spy Family next week. So make sure you're there.
Awesome.
I got homework.
And check it out. I say you got to do it, Argwinder. I mean, it's great. I'm glad you caught up with it. And I'm glad you're seeing to expand it with the family. That's awesome. That is awesome. It's my turn, right? So my third, trying to keep up the variety, right?
Second is it, well?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think it's the coffee. I'm gonna go with Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion. And the reason I'm bringing up Code Geass, it's a longer show. It's probably like around 52 episodes, but it's clearly divided in 23 episode chunks. But the reason I bring Code Geass is because most people that know about anime or that know about machines and robots know about Gundam. But Gundam is this never-ending anthology of shows that has filled our imaginations for decades, right? Most people know Gundam because of Toonami had Gundam Wing, right? But when Toonami kicked off. But Gundam is something that it's going to take you years to get caught up or to watch a show. They tend to be very long. But what I love about Code Geass is that it's just one season. It's one show. I think it's just 2 seasons. It's the perfect blend of fantasy, drama, war, and politics. But also, it's an awesome mecha show. Which one of the great things in anime is the mecha genre. I mean, Gundam, it's one of the most greatest mecha known. Robotech, a lot of people know about Zoids, Gurren Lagann. The list goes on, but mecha is one of those great, and Messenger Z. There's so many mecha anime that are beloved by so many people. And if you want to get in a taste of a great mecha show, Code Geass. And by the way, anybody can fight me on this, but I will never let go. I am going to say this, but that intro, Colors, is one of the best intros ever in anime, and it's from Code Geass.
That's great. This made me laugh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. And side note, Code Geass is awesome. Watch the series. The movies, you can skip.
Hey, Brandon, I had a question.
Yeah.
You were talking about like all these mecha shows. This is my all-time favorite, but how would you classify Big O?
Oh, Big O is amazing. Big O is another show. Another great show for beginners because it's very short. Mm-hmm. But what makes Big O so interesting is that it's a procedural, but with mechas.
Right.
And it's a show that, again, another show that's not meant to make sense. but it makes sense because the characters are so interesting and intriguing, which I guess you guys have noticed that in anime that tends to be a very particular theme, right? Things that don't make sense but make sense because they're put together artfully.
Yes.
Well, that is, and I'm new to anime, not new, but I'm new to the expanded world of anime, and to me, what I find is the anime that don't necessarily make all the sense in the world are some of the more entertaining ones.
Yes.
Right? Because they find a way to just be good, even though they don't really make any sense story-wise. So for me, that's why I'm like, a lot of anime I don't watch for the story. I watch just because it's really cool. You know what I'm saying? It's
like My Hero Academia. When we watch Mirko, we don't watch the My Hero from My Hero. Watch it for the plot.
Hey. I am a man of culture. I watch for both.
You mean both sides? Isaac. So Isaac, last one of the night, last anime that you would recommend.
What's your prescription, Doc?
Well, first off, I was gonna say Black Lagoon as my second, but that I won't been able to. But honestly, Brandon is the only one that probably have heard of this show, and it's only on Crunchyroll. The Violet Evergarden is on Netflix for those that are interested, and that is ID Invaded. You remember that one?
So good. It's funny. I had it on my list. It's so great.
It's essentially, how should I put it? Inception meets what's the movie with Tom Cruise where they can have
Minority Report.
Thank you. It's essentially Minority Report meets Inception, and it has a lot of twists and turns that is just making you sit at the end of your seat constantly, and it's excellent personal travel for the main character, and Mike and Brandon specifically knows how I am when it comes to those kind of stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's only 13 episodes, so.
Yeah, ID Invaded is great. It is so good. I don't know, guys. These are great recommendations. You guys are eating good. people at home, you're eating good. You don't have to fight to find what to watch. Don't you dare let Netflix recommend something else. We're giving you stuff here. Go watch it. And Arcwinder, can you stop making me laugh? I'm trying to run a show here.
We love Mitoko. She's the best. She's the best.
She's awesome. But yeah, guys, this is a great list. So let's recap. We recommended for you guys to watch. If you're trying to find an anime that's short, sweet, and awesome for you to watch and enjoy, we've recommended Violet Evergarden, Spy Family, Cowboy Bebop, Akame ga Kill, Black Lagoon, Code Geass, Lelouch the Rebellion, and Psychopaths. And there's plenty more.
ID Invaded also.
ID Invaded. Thank you, Isaac. That's why you're here.
I'm the one that's tired, and I'm the one keeping track of the topics. For shame, buddy.
I mean,
the Last Airbender.
And now, can I throw in a bonus? Am I permitted? I'm asking
Isaac
permission.
threw in the entire Ghibli library, so there's no rules anymore.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one from the Ghibli library, and the only reason I'm recommending this one, and no, is not because I want you to cry, but the reason I'm grabbing this one is because
Grave of the Fireflies.
Damn it, Isaac! I'm trying to run a show here, but yes, Grave of the Fireflies.
Really, dude.
Now, the reason I'm recommending this
Okay.
is because if you ever questioned the ability that an animated film can have into telling a deep, heartbreaking story based on real events, literally that it can be a real movie, Grave for the Fireflies is that kind of tragic war based on real event story. It's beautiful animation. I mean, it came out in the 80s, I think it was, right? But it's beautiful animation, a tight story, but also is very heartbreaking because these are things that actually happened based on things that happened to real people. But again, another extreme, but another corner of the never-ending corners that anime can present.
That's what I love about the list that we presented, right? Because I feel like we checked almost all the boxes, different genres. Yep. There's something for everyone. Like Grave of the Fireflies, you heard in Isaac's voice where he's like, I don't know, because it's a film that's not for everyone. But for every movie like Grave of the Fireflies, there is a show like Psychopaths, or there is a show like Spy Family. There's something in every genre, every corner of anime for you to check out. And yeah, this is a really great starting point where I'm sure if you go through this list and just watch the pilot of each show we recommended, one of them is going to stick out for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't blame you, Arcwinder. It's tough. It's hard. But again, it's one of those, and it's one of those films that emotionally just stays with you. So I don't blame you if you feel that way. Guys, this is awesome. Guys, you have a list. We'll make sure to put that list in the description. To that list, we'll also add the reviews that we've done on these films or this anime series. We'll link the previous episodes that we've done on it so you can go ahead and check those out if you want to hear our thoughts before you jump in. But there's plenty of anime there. I would even say you can find me at the Scarlet Fan 52. You can find Isaac and Emblemaniac. If you write to us, we'll give you recommendations directly. So don't worry, we got a lot of stuff.